And now another reaction, this time to Monday's program, yes, yesterday's program, when we had Seedy Njie in our opening report on the NPP officially opening a student wing secretariat in Churchillstown. What Seedy said as he inaugurated the new office somehow got under Pa Samba Jaw's skin. And you know Pa Samba, he's not one to keep his feelings to himself.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning to all the listeners. Peter, it's been a while, but I just cannot help but say something about Seedy Njie's lambasting, to borrow from your words, of Yaya Jammeh and his regime. But Peter, before starting, I have to agree with my friend, Njie, that Seedy Njie has no business in the business of building a new Gambia. Peter, listening to Seedy Njie reminds me of what the Wolofs used to call xariti takkandeer. So xàccee mo xàcc, so dóoree mu dóor, suñ laa dóor mu xaar la sa suuf. He would never take a punch for you. And there's Seedy Njie. The same man who helped and cheerlead Jammeh's brutal dictatorship for decades, only to come out today and want to accuse Yaya Jammeh of running a dictatorship and committing heinous human rights crimes. When did it become so dark that we cannot recognize each other? Peter, this is the same guy, Seedy Njie, who 8 years ago was illegally and unconstitutionally appointed as Minister of Information by Yaya Jammeh, when Yaya Jammeh was determined to usurp the will of the Gambian people. Unconstitutional because Seedy was a member of the National Assembly, and the Constitution is very explicit that no member of the National Assembly is qualified to be appointed a minister. And up to the time I'm speaking, there is no record of Seedy Njie ever resigning his position as National Assembly member prior to his appointment as a minister. And it's the same Seedy Njie who helped Yaya Jammeh during that period in his very desperate attempt to perpetuate himself in power, even if it meant plunging our country into bloodbath. Peter, on the 12th of January, 2017, the headlines read, Yaya Jammeh will not step down, says Seedy Njie. Seedy did not care about the Constitution. All Seedy cared about was, here I am, I've been given an opportunity of a lifetime to be called a state minister. So I have no problem in disregarding the Constitution to help perpetuate Yaya Jammeh's dictatorship. The same dictatorship that he is talking about today was a dictatorship that he was comfortably defending during that time. Peter, if there is one thing that I appreciate about living in the United States, is that they do not call their members of Congress honorable. Even the President of the United States is not loosely called His Excellency. The only time you hear honorable is when he addresses a joint session of Congress, State of the Union, and they announce his presence, the Honorable President. That's it. And maybe the thinking is right, that yes, the office they occupy could be honorable, but not all those who occupy it are honorable. And there is nothing more dishonorable than to have a person who has no conscience whatsoever, a person who has no regard for democracy, human rights, or rule of law, to be called an honorable speaker or honorable deputy speaker or honorable National Assembly member or honorable minister. It is quite sad, Peter, that a man like Seedy Njie, who today is now going after Yaya Jammeh, who helped Yaya Jammeh destroy our country, who must have been real happy, if you ask me, that a solo Sunday was murdered, that people were arrested and tortured in that country because he had never come out anywhere during Jammeh's time and said this was wrong, because that did not concern him. What concerned him was to continue to hobnob with Yahya Jammeh, because Yahya Jammeh had made him a nominated member of parliament and, of course, elevated him to Minister of Information. When people started deserting Yahya Jammeh, he was, let me stay here because my bread can be buttered. And this was why when Jammeh left, and he left with Jammeh and went to Equatorial Guinea and realized that this may not work well for me, he decided to come back and, guess what? Crawl right into the arms of the man that he swore would never be president of that country. What a man. What a man. So, Peter, it is sad that in this day and age, a man like Seedy Njie is occupying one of the highest positions in that country.
Thank you, Pa Samba Jao in the U.S.